Hello. Good evening. Hey guys, good evening. So we are on to answer some questions with regards to travel updates to the Philippines. We will recap what's going on in the Philippines at the moment. So come on in, hop on, and ask if you have questions for me tonight. And I will try to answer them one by one as usual. So come on in. Good evening. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone. So, wow, zero. Happy Thursday. So, if you have questions, hop on and ask. Hello to our 6 viewers. Good evening from the Philippines. Say hi when you're around. Hello, hello. Hello, happy Thursday from Jerry Claren. Hello, good evening, good morning to you, Claren. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. I also have a quick update with 9A visa because I emailed one of the Philippine consulate, especially to those who already have existing 9A visa. So I am going to what do you call this? I am going to let you know what the response are with the 9A visa, especially to those who already have nine existing 9A visa. Hello, Jerry. Any changes to a visa process? 9A visa process. Last August 1st, the start of the 9A visa with no entry exemption document needed to those who are planning to go to the Philippines under the 9A visa. So it doesn't need the entry exemption document anymore. But like I said earlier, I have an update to those who are I have an update to those who have existing 9A visa, and what you guys need to do. Good morning from Los Angeles. Any ideas as to when foreigners will be able to visit the Philippines? As of right now, we're still looking at December, but there's really no guarantees on it. The only thing I could say is the Philippine government is really ramping up the vaccination here in the Philippines, and they actually are. And so that's a good thing because I think that is what they are looking for to finally open up the Philippines for everybody. Hello, mom. If you can, please, what would my wife need to send me in order for me to get a visa? Wayne, she needs to send you a copy of her bio page of her passport if she has. Actually, I have a video on this, the updated 9A visa application. I will be uploading this probably tomorrow. Hopefully, I can get it done editing tonight. I wasn't able to edit for the past few days because my daughters are back to school online, and one of my daughter's laptop got broke and it needs fixed, so she was using my laptop and I wasn't able to edit, but I have the complete details on it. But for her, she needs to send you a bio page of her Philippine passport. She needs the request letter for you to be granted visa to visit them in the Philippines, or her. She needs the barangay certificate for it. She knows what it is, the barangay certificate, to prove that she's really in the Philippines. Um, Consulates also require a selfie picture of her holding the newspaper on the current events in the Philippines. That's also to show that she's really in the Philippines. So, but like I said, I have the complete video on that. 9G visa information. 9G, I believe, is the student's visa. I don't think they are granting that right now since the Philippines is not really into face to face classes yet. Good evening po. Open na po ba ang Taiwan? Open for, ay si Kangiwat pala ito. Hello Kangiwat. Ah, Taiwan. Ang alam ko, Taiwan is currently on travel ban to the Philippines. I am not sure if it also goes the same way, leaving the Philippines, going to Taiwan. Because all I know is Taiwan is currently on travel ban to the Philippines. Thank you very much. You're very welcome, Wayne. Hello po. How are you? I'm good. Do you know anything about visas for Europe for Filipinos? I'm thinking to bring my girlfriend here in Europe. Mm. For her to fly to Europe, I think she needs to apply for a tourist visa. But I don't. I'm not sure if Europe is open now for tourism. There are some that are now open in the European countries that are open for international tourism, and uh, I have a video on that also as well. But there was that one Filipina who got all the requirements actually. She's got the visa and everything, and she was actually at the airport yesterday to Morocco so she can meet with her boyfriend for the first time in Morocco. So she was able to actually secure all the documents that she need to fly to Morocco, but she was denied by a by a bureau of immigration officer to leave the country because, like they said, she was asked, why are you leaving, why are you vacationing during the time of the pandemic and stuff, and they have said that leisure travel right now is not really allowed. So that's not good. Thank you, you're welcome. Thank you very much, mom. Welcome po. I believe your wife doesn't have to send the actual documents anymore, just a PDF copy. True. There are some consulate that still there are some consulates that still requires it, but I would go ahead and send the original copy. Send it through DHL or FedEx so it gets here right away. It gets to the states right away because what if she just sends the PDF and last minute the consulate wants the original copy? So it's better to have both. Have the digital printed one and the original copy one. That way you have it all on hand. Yahoo! Hello, Ate Verge. Good evening. Good morning. Buenos dias from Merida, Mexico. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Pwede na ba makapunta ang laging galing Middle East? Middle East. Ano ba yung mga lugar na nasa Middle East? Hello, Ate Verge. Kumusta? I hope nag-enjoy ka sa birthday mo, ate. Andyan ka pa ba sa Vegas? Madam, pwede ba makauwi ang married sa isang Arab nationality? Married po siya sa'yo. Married nga. Married sa isang Arab nationality. If ang allowed kasi makapasok ngayon sa Philippines is yung mga foreigner na kasal sa Pinoy. Pero kailangan nilang mag-apply ng 9A visa para makapasok sa Pilipinas. At mag-a-apply po kayo ng visa niyan sa Philippine Consulate. Sa pinakamalapit na Philippine Embassy po dyan sa Middle East. For sure, meron naman yan. Ay, that's good, ate. That's good. I'm glad na masaya yung birthday mo. Oo naman, Vegas yun. Diyos ko. Nanalo ka ba, Ate Verge? So you guys, if you guys have any more questions when it comes to travel, updates to the Philippines, any travel related questions. So tomorrow, August 6th, that is the start of ECQ in Manila. That's the enhanced community quarantine. International flights are not affected by it because they still cater international flights. The only problem to it during the enhanced community quarantine is the domestic flights, because domestic flights are restricted with that kind of quarantine classifications, and the only flights that will be allowed during that time are for those authorized persons to fly, those essential travels, and they will have special flights to those who are stranded in Manila when they implemented the enhanced community quarantine. Is the border open now? Unfortunately, not yet. Basi Cynthia. I am trying to decide if I want to apply for the temporary residency here or just do visa runs to Belize. Mexican temporary visa to the Philippines? Is that what you're saying? How about Madam Torres galing Middle East? Wala bang chance na makauwi sila dito? Unfortunately, foreign tourists are still not allowed to. Hindi pa rin nila inaalaw yung mga tourists sa Philippines. Mexico has a program right now for US expats to apply for temporary resident without having to leave the country. Oh, that's actually nice. So, mm, if you think that's the best for you, go for it. Ate, dual citizen pero hindi vaccinated. Makakapasok pa ako dyan? Siyempre naman, kasi ang daming, it English ko lang ha. There's a lot of fake news going on right now in the internet, in the World Wide Web, that the Philippines is now imposing those mandatory vaccination that you can't enter into the Philippines if you're not fully vaccinated. Yada, 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 yada. That is not true. There is no mandate yet, no such law yet, that the Philippines is not allowing those travelers who are not fully vaccinated or unvaccinated. My God, my kids are watching TV. So, that is not true. Uh, AO de Cruz. So, kahit kung hindi ka pa vaccinated or fully vaccinated ka na, makakapasok ka pa rin ng Pilipinas. Trying to decide the cost or benefit of getting temporary resident or just continue visa runs. That's really up to you, Ampu. How do I read your name? Thank you. You're very welcome, Jessa. So like I said, tomorrow, August 6th, and this will run until August the 20th for the enhanced community quarantine in Manila. So like I mentioned, uh, domestic flights will be restricted during, what do you call this? During, oh, okay. Now I know who it is. So you will just fly your girlfriend to Mexico then, James? Is that what you're doing? If that's the easiest route, go for it. Can you? So yeah, it's like, I mean, if that's the good route for you, go for it. Hello, J Chill. Kumusta? Mabuti naman po. You're very welcome. Kamusta po kayo? No, I am single. Bus ride to Belize when needed to renew visa. Oh, okay. All right. Even though I am married to a Filipina, I am not going to get a 9A visa. I will wait until the tourist visa is available. I will take a direct flight to Cebu, no hassles. That is true too, but I really have a feeling that they will open up. I think they probably would. They have probably would if this Delta variant did not come into play. So because right now the vaccination update to the Philippines, we are now at 9.5%. So 9.5% of the population has now been vaccinated.
Your youngest daughter told you to have a nice life and good night.
She's out.
She wants you to have a nice life, though.
Course, like if you think that works for you right now, go for it. So so I could visualize Manila now. Probably checkpoints everywhere. Their curfew there is from 8 in the evening until 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's their curfew in Manila at the moment. And also I wanted to update those who have existing 9A visa. So because the IATF resolution said that it has to be notated that it's exempted from the entry exemption document. So I emailed all the consulates and one came back and answered that they said that that you guys have to send it back to the embassy where you guys applied it to when you got your 9A visa, so you have to send it back to the Philippine consulate where you applied it to, and the application will be treated as a new applicant. So please take note of that. Good evening, watching here in Manila, Philippines. Hello, Rowena. Rowena, kamusta dyan? Ano na ba? Kasi I know you guys are going to start your lockdown tomorrow. Good morning. Hello, Catherine. Good morning. Merida, Mexico curfew 11:30 to 5 a.m. In Manila, they are stricter this time. Me and my girlfriend want to meet in Costa Rica. You think that will be okay? So I will repeat my story earlier. This is just a heads up and probably also a case to case basis. There was one Filipina who was boarding yesterday for Morocco. So she was able to get all the documents that she needs, probably a visa to travel to Morocco, but she was denied to board. Actually, she was denied during her immigration process because the Bureau of Immigration officer said leisure travel at the moment is not allowed. So how sad is that, no?
Wasn't
Hello. Huh?
wasn't she the one that said that she was going to go visit her boyfriend?
They will meet in Morocco. And her boyfriend doesn't know that she got denied because her boyfriend is on the plane to Morocco. So he will find out as soon as he land in Morocco that he wasn't able to board. Hello ma'am, ask ko lang po, bakit sa One Health Pass, yung mga hotel na nasa choices walang Cebu Hotel? Confusing, kaso Cebu ang arrival. Pero paano po yun ma-register kung Manila Hotels land choices? I am not sure if One Health Pass is applicable sa Cebu. Kasi yung Cebu has a different QR code also na mag-register ka. Yun yung sa MCIA nila, na ano, MCIA QR code. So, dun po kayo mag-register. Ma'am, I'm Andeli. Nag-message pa ako sa San Francisco Consulate. Ang sabi po nila, mag-reapply yung asawa ko for 9A visa. Yes, siya yata yung kausap ko kagabi kasi I was calling Houston and I was also emailing them at the same time. Yun nga yung sinabi nila na mag-reapply. So that's really sad. To those who already have the 9A visa, existing 9A visa, they need to reapply again for the 9A visa to be allowed entry into the Philippines kasi yung bagong resolution, yung resolution na inapprove ng IATF has to be notated. May notation dapat doon sa visa na entry exemption document, exempted. Nabasa ko po yung message yung dalawa ng husband ko, ma'am. Thanks for replying him. You're very, kasi I was on the phone with Philippine Consulate Houston last night nung nagkausap kami at sabi ko, kasi magkaiba yung ano nila magkaiba yung reply. Nung kinausap ko in person yung Houston, they said that his 9A visa is good to go. Kailangan niya lang magdala ng marriage certificate and yung a barangay clearance from you. Then sa email nila, iba naman. So I really doubted it. So I told him now, why don't you try to call Philippine Consulate Houston because they really pick up their phone. And yun nga, yung email na sinend ng Philippine Consulate Houston to me at saka yung sinabi nila sa kanya sa phone is pareho na magre-reapply daw talaga. The application is treated as new application daw. That's cool. Hi, good afternoon po. Watching from Jordan. Hello, Leia Tan. Good evening. Magandang gabi from the Philippines. So there's it's like not much really new updates from the Philippine government because the what do you call this? The current travel restrictions to the Philippines is the same. The travel ban countries is now total to 10 countries that are on travel ban to the Philippines. Yung mga arrival and quarantine protocols to the Philippines are the same. This is until August 15 kasi usually the Philippine government they always meet and do every 2 weeks assessment. Where is the Philippines at currently? So right now, the current travel protocols to the Philippines and the current travel restrictions to the Philippines is until August 15. Hello po from Abu Dhabi. Hanggang kailan kaya ang travel ban from UAE? Hanggang August 15 siya. Hanggang August 15. Magkakaiba po sila ng sinabi, ma'am. So, sayang yung 9A visa ng husband ko. It's valid till March next year. Oo nga, sayang. Saan niya yun in-applyan? Ang hirap kasi. I called Philippine Consulate New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago. Walang sumasagot. Yung sumagot lang talaga is Houston. Yung quarantine code. Ano po yung quarantine code? Wala, wait lang. Wala naman po tayong quarantine code. Baka you mean QR code. Salamat po. You're very welcome. Ano naman po ang QR code? Kasi yung mga kailangan na registration sa Philippines is yung Trace app. That's also a QR code. That's for contact tracing. Yung QR code, yun po yung sa swab testing na magre-register ka if you're flying with Philippine Airlines. Meron po yan silang sariling ECIF kung saan ka po magre-register at mabibigyan po kayo ng QR code. Then if you are not flying with Philippine Airlines, yung lapag nyo po is sa Terminal 1 and Terminal 3. Doon po kayo magre-register sa PadLab or sa Red Cross. Kasi magbibigay yun sila ng QR code para po yun sa swab test. Kasi magsa-swab test po kayo sa Philippines. If your quarantine is 10 days, yung swab test nyo po is on the 10th day. Pero kung 7 days lang, it's on the 5th day. Turkish airline po ako. Sa Padlab po yan. Padlab po ang registration niya. Padlab. Sa San Francisco Consulate po siya nag-apply, ma'am, ng 9A visa niya. Kasi sila lang ang may jurisdiction sa case namin kasi we got married through online wedding. Oh, yung 9A visa niya, nakapunta na siya ng Pilipinas using 9A visa. Kailan lang yun na-approve yung 9A visa niya? Kung maano lang talaga, kasi tawag ako ng tawag sa San Francisco, wala talagang nasagot. Ang hirap. Walang sumasagot sa kanila. Pati sa email, walang sumasagot. So, nakaka-frustrate na walang sumasagot sa linya. I wish they would, I know that they are on skeletal force right now, but that doesn't mean you don't pick up the phone and answer inquiries and stuff. Kasi nakakaloka yan kung hindi nila sasagutin kasi dapat sinasagot nila yung phone. I want to know what is a direct phone number from Philippine Embassy in Chicago. Wait, I will get it for you, Lamont. But I will have to I have to I have to warn you that it will just keep ringing. It will just keep ringing. Nobody picks up. That is the number for Chicago. Na-approve po siya last March 24, ma'am. And 1 year po yung visa validity niya. So, hindi siya nakapunta dito using the 9A visa nung March. I wish that when they come up with these protocols, they would consider that not everyone is technology savvy and have another way of doing the things besides just apps. True, especially when you I could understand if you're not techie. When me and my husband went home the last time, seniors are not so techie. Actually, at the airport, you will be surprised when you go home to the Philippines. It's not as bad as you think because they are very organized at the airport. To be honest, they are. It's like the flow of their process is actually nice and properly organized by the Philippine Coast Guard, and they are very helpful to those who needs assistance when it comes to registration and stuff. They would help you with that. Yes, ang dami naming email sa kanila, ma'am, pero walang reply talaga. Nakakapagod. Really don't know what to do. Yes, that's the thing though. It's like they would put a phone number, they would put an email where you can inquire and stuff, but nobody replies. Kasi nag-close po ang Pilipinas, then nag-open sila yung may mga addition. So sa 9A visa, ay wait. You said that was, oo nga, kasi next nila na open yung 9A visa is with entry exemption document na yun. Yes, sir. They're very really, to be honest, to those who are traveling to the Philippines, I know some, the only that you will start seeing the complaints during quarantine already, because it's not easy to be quarantined for 10 days, and I could sympathize with it because I have been through the process before. But actually when we went home to the Philippines last time, the organization of the flow of the process during the quarantine is actually impressive. It's like you know where to go because they categorize it. If you're a foreign national or an OFW or a non OFW, they are actually organized at the airport. The flow is actually good at the airport. The like I said, the complaints the complaint starts before flying, because of course with all the documents that you have to prepare, the registration that you need to register and stuff. But when you land to the Philippines, they are actually organized, and they are actually very helpful because it's the Philippine Coast Guard that's assisting at the airport, and they are really very helpful to those who needs assistance when it comes to filling out registration and stuff, what's the next step and all that. So you will be surprised. It's like, I know the news is really bad, the updates on what's going on, the protocols and stuff, but trust me, it's not as bad as you think. It's really not. And the only secret to that, and the only thing that you just really have to complete the requirements that they require. It's like the paperwork that they require. Once you are complete, you are good to go. Once you are complete, the process will go smooth for you. Mhm. So any more questions? The travel related updates, immigration updates and all. So sana, Catherine, maayos ni Javi. So mag-apply ba siya ulit? I think yung last na sinabi niya is he's looking for a different option for you guys to meet. Ganun yung sinabi niya. He's looking for a different option for you guys to meet somewhere. Kasi kahit naman ako mapapagod din pag ganyan. Yung paiba-iba yung protocol, when the protocol keeps changing, and it feels like you don't really have, you're losing hope already because of the restrictions and stuff. It's hard to be in that situation, especially when your wife and kids is like, right now me and my husband are together, but I couldn't imagine if he was left in the States and we have to go through all this trouble getting a 9A visa, entry exemption document and stuff. That would be so detrimental to me and to him as well, because I would be so worried. Well, my husband doesn't do paperwork anyway, so I would do all that and tell him what he needs to do. But uh, I know how stressful that is, especially when you guys are not together and you're trying to get him here to the Philippines legally, and there's this roadblocks along the way of getting your husband here in the Philippines is hard. So I really couldn't imagine all the stress, the frustration, and all that you guys have been going through because of these protocols that keeps changing all the time. Yes, ma'am, we're thinking din talaga to meet somewhere. Natakot lang ako sa sinabi. Yes, meron talaga yon sa comment section. One Pinay. Let's see. But I'm gonna be showing her name. No, I'm not gonna be showing her name, but I'm going to see if I can find her comment. Kasi ganun yung nangyari sa kanya. She was denied entry because the Bureau of Immigration said, "Why are you leaving the country during the pandemic and leisure travels are not allowed?" So that's what they told her. That was not fun. Ang hirap nun. It's like you guys have spent all the paperwork, the plane ticket, the accommodation and stuff, and you will be denied. But also tourist visa, just not it's not because you were granted a tourist visa, it doesn't guarantee that you will be admitted in the country. That's the reality of a tourist visa. Oo, nakakainis din. Wait, hanapin ko ha. Hanapin ko yung comment niya. Kasi nag-uusap kami sa comment section. Grabe yung nangyari sa kanya. Sabi ko, oh my goodness. With all the money and time that are vested in that. So, wait, hanapin ko yung, basahin ko lang ha para hindi makita yung name niya. It's for privacy purposes. So, I will see if I can find her comment kasi andito lang yung comment niya. Kawawa talaga yung Pinay kasi she was planning to she was going to Morocco to meet her boyfriend for the first time, and she was denied. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up as well when it comes to that. Like I said, it's not because you were granted a visa uh that means that you will be granted entry. It's like it's not a guarantee. Ganito yung sabi niya, oh. I just got denied to board today going to Morocco to meet my American boyfriend. The immigration won't allow me to meet him if it is first time meetup. She said the F word. We really don't have a choice for this nonsense. So I replied, I was like, wow, really? So sorry to hear that. And she responded, it's so devastating because my boyfriend doesn't know yet. He is in the middle of his flight to Morocco. So the boyfriend is already on the plane or on the way to Morocco, but he doesn't know yet. I said, wow, that's not good. I think it raises a red flag when you tell them you are meeting your boyfriend on a tourist visa. Better way to answer those questions is I am going to have a vacation in Morocco. And she said, yes, I told them that. She's like, yes, I told them that way, but they told me they don't allow leisure unless I have a relative in Morocco. So they questioned me why I decided to go for a vacation in the middle of COVID problem. So that was her what they call this? That was her experience. So heads up to those who plan on meeting somewhere. Ayoko yung maranasan ng husband. Oh, imaginein mo yung boyfriend niya nasa eroplano na. Her boyfriend is already on the plane on the way to Morocco, and he's probably excited and looking forward to meeting her, and also expecting that she's also on the plane on the way to Morocco. But when he gets to Morocco, I think when he gets to Morocco, there will be some bad news that she is still in the Philippines and wasn't able to board because she was denied to board. And that's really sad. Imagine the effort, imagine the time wasted, the money wasted for that trip. So that's just a heads up to those who wants to. Probably it's in a case to case basis. I don't know. And she was denied, and because as far as I know, there's really no restriction. They are not as strict with outbound travelers from the Philippines than inbound travelers to the Philippines. But I don't know why she got denied, because that's the story that she told me. I am not sure if there's really more reason behind it why she was denied to board the aircraft, or she was because she's already got the visa. Any idea what's the turnaround time for the 9A visa? Right now, because before the turnaround, you can get it as early as 3 days. But this time, I don't think that's the case. It might take longer, especially now that the entry exemption document has been lifted and everybody is trying to apply for that application to get to the Philippines. So I don't really know their timeline for Mhm. Please keep an eye on my upload. Maybe tomorrow morning, Philippine time, I have the complete guidelines, the step-by-step guide for applying a 9A visa. That was actually sent to me from the Philippine consulate in Chicago on what you need to submit for your 9A visa application. Any news on Boracay being made into a travel bubble? There is really no update to that yet. Right now, I think the Philippine government is very busy on the vaccination rollout, and they are very busy trying to uh, counterpart the Delta variant to uh, so we don't have a surge here in the Philippines. Good PM, na-frustrate so much ang husband ko, hindi siya pinayagan makaboard going to the Philippines last August 1 from Seattle. Why was he not allowed to board, Lorenza? Ano yung naging problema? Para ma-share natin sa ating mga viewers, para maging reference. What happened po? What she was saying is her husband was so frustrated because she was denied boarding on the aircraft going to the Philippines last August 1st from Seattle. So she probably have the existing 9A visa without the notation that they are exempted from the entry exemption document. So that's the thing that I could think why he was denied to board, because as I talked to Philippine consulates, with those with existing 9A visa, they need to send it back to be notated, and it will be treated as new application. So you have to send it back where you applied it to before to get your 9A visa. Expired ang 13 visa niya. Oh my goodness. Oo. Nag-expire yung 13A niya. Ay, ay, ay. He needs to renew it. But I think he can only renew his 13A sa Bureau of Immigration. Or I think he can do that at the Philippine Post abroad as well. So he needs to hindi talaga yan siya pasasakayin if his 13A is expired. Hello, my brother from another mother. Good evening. How you doing? Huh?
Vincent must be there.
Yep. My husband said Vincent must be there. So how are you? Again, still no news for tourists to be in the Philippines. Nope. Paano ang dapat gawin? Kailangan niya po yun i-renew, Lorenza. Wait. Kasi, kasi yung kaibigan ko dito, yung asawa niya, do you need to show up? Kailangan, ang alam ko, kailangan ng appearance eh. Kasi, may friend ako na siya lang yung nag-process ng renewal ng 13A ng asawa niya. You need to contact the Bureau of Immigration. Ganito ang gawin mo, Lorenza. Contact the Bureau of Immigration. Sabihin mo, your husband is still in the States. And he won't be able to renew his 13A unless andito siya sa Philippines. Para mabigyan ka nila ng option, or maybe they will send you a paperwork and stuff, or they will endorse you to a Philippine post abroad para ma-renew niya po yung 13A visa niya. Good evening, Miss Addie, watching from New York. Hello, Eva. Good morning to you from the, what do you call, City of Apple? Is that?
New York?
Uh-huh.
Big Apple.
Oh, the Big Apple, New York. I haven't been to New York yet. Hopefully one day. I want to see the Statue of Liberty, Still alive and kicking. That's good. How's your blood pressure going? Mag-a-apply ba siya ng 9A visa to start all over again? No. Kasi may 13A na siya. Yun nga ang sabi ko, Lorenza, you need to call the Bureau of Immigration kung ano yung option. Kasi kailangan niyang i-renew yung 13A visa niya. He doesn't need to apply for the 9A visa. Kasi resident na siya ng Philippines. So, coordinate with the Bureau of Immigration kung ano po yung dapat gawin. Sabihin niyo po na nasa US pa yung asawa niyo po. Ano po yung gagawin niya kasi nag-expire niya yung 13A visa niya. I've been drinking beetroot juice lately to lower my... beetroot is really good. So that's good. Continue doing that. And if it's did your blood pressure reading improve? Yes po. Ay, ganun. Somebody says he will start all over. Ganun? Start all over agad? Is that the temporary resident visa or permanent na? Hindi naman siguro kasi ang alam ko kasi may pandemic naman eh. Dapat may exemption yan. Sino pong may sabi na he will have to start all over again? I would not accept that, I would not accept that answer from somebody. Kukulitin ko talaga sila. Kung ako niyan, Diyos ko Lord, with all the process that we have gone through for 13A, and he wasn't able to fly here because of the pandemic and stuff, and you want him to start all over again for 13A, nek-nek ninyo, kukulitin ko kayo. Sino yung may sabi niyan, Lorenza? May nagme-message din sa akin. Sure, go ahead. I'm live, baby. Are you sleeping now? Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Sige na, you sleep now.
I'm not tired.
Becky, I'm live na.
Okay.
Sige na,
Hi
watch.
everyone. Goodbye everyone.
That's cute. That was my middle child. Did lowered a bit, but still high, 141.96. Yeah, the 141 is still high. The 96 is a lot better, but 96.84. The 84 is much better though. No? It's playing between 141 over 96, 141 over 84.
The 84
It's normal actually.
isn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 80 is the top range of normal.
Yes. Oh, TRV pa pala yon. Kasi ang alam ko sa TRV, kasi yan ang pinaprocess namin ngayon ng asawa ko, Lorenza, but he's here in the Philippines. And we are applying it at the Bureau of Immigration. So, mag-uumpisa siya as temporary resident visa, TRV. Then after 1 year, he can apply for the permanent residency na. Good morning or good evening. Hello, Mark Rios. Good morning to you. Good evening for me. One of the staff of immigration. Just ko, Lord. So is that it? If ganun pala ang rule nila? Ano ba yan? Kasi temporary. Kasi kung sa ano pa yan, kung sa green card, they are under conditional green card. So during that duration, you really have to be very good, no? Because you are, I think, under observation.
You can't go out and generate a criminal record.
He did not, for sure, he did not commit that. It's just that his 13A got expired while he was abroad. He wasn't able to fly to the Philippines. Okay, I cannot get in the Philippines right now. I am going to just send money to my fiance. That is so nice of you, Mark. Your fiance is lucky. Very lucky. Where is she from again, Mark? I know you were at our LDR discussion last Sunday, I believe. You came in you came into almost we are ending it, I think. I am buying 100 square meters for 500K. That's actually not a bad price.
Where at?
But it will also depend on the location. So, the location would vary. If it's in provinces,
that's fine.
Near the mountains, 100 square meters is actually, the 500,000 is actually very expensive for that. But if it's within the city limit, that's actually within the price range. Umuwi siya sa Washington last October. Nag-appearance ba siya sa Bureau of Immigration? Kasi ang alam ko may appearance yan sila eh. San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. Bulacan, Manila area. Yeah, it's within. I know, though it's just a province in Manila, but still. So that's probably on the price range. Guess no hope for myself in LDR. Oh, come on, Vincent. Don't be like that. You will have hope. Where are the Philippines? When is the for India? Right now, India is still currently on travel ban to the Philippines. It's still travel ban until August 15. So until then, we will not know if they are going to lift the restriction or they lift the travel ban or they are going to extend it again. Oh my God, it's got a my sir stayed in Davao since and he got a valid ACR1 until October. It is tourist visiting visa category. Pwede ba siya makabalik to Davao with me as her accompanying person? We got medical sir. He needs me if he travel and another reason he likes to have a checkup in Davao is oh we're close. Hang on, let me just respond to this inquiry in my messenger. So he said valid ACR1 visiting visa category. When you say at the moment. Yes, kasama ko siya, nag-apply siya personal. Oo, kasi ganyan din ginagawa namin sa asawa ko, Lorenza. We're just waiting on the NBI clearance para ma-process namin yun. What about getting SRRV visa now? You can apply for SRRV, but you have to be in the Philippines for that. You cannot apply for SRRV while you are abroad. It has to be in the Philippines. Hello from Japan and thanks always for the updates. Maraming salamat din, Julie65. He really needs me to assist him because he's a dialysis patient. Oh, that's not really good. Why? Hmm. I will also try to inquire at the Bureau of Immigration tomorrow. I will send them a message, Lorenza. What happens when a temporary resident card expires? What are the options? What are the options for it, especially when you are abroad? Magtatanong ako niyan kasi usually the Bureau of Immigration is good at responding. Magtatanong ako niyan sa kanila, sa kanilang Facebook page. The United States US government sent 3 million doses of vaccine to the Philippines. And I heard through the grapevine we will be sending more soon. This time it will be Pfizer. Yeah, the 3 million doses were Moderna vaccine and that's really good. So that's 3 million, 1.5 Filipinos are going to be vaccinated by it and they are still sending Pfizer and that's really good. The vaccination rollout in the Philippines actually is doing really well because there's a lot of people now that has been more open to be vaccinated and stuff. So and right now they are at 1.5%, 9.5% of the population of the Philippines has vaccinated. Salamat. Umuwi lang siya sa US para mag-report sa SS. Ay, sayang din yun, no? Pero hindi na siya nakabalik ulit, Lorenza. Natagalan siya sa US. And hopefully, if enough people are vaccinated, the gateways will open. I think that is what they are aiming for, to be for most of the population here in the Philippines fully vaccinated. Now, China even refused entry for those that didn't take their vaccine. What? Really? Oh, there are. If you've seen my upload, I have uploaded countries that doesn't recognize a particular brand of vaccine, and usually the Sinovac. They don't recognize. Even US doesn't do that. Yes, thank you. Yes, I will. Lorenza, message me on our Facebook page sa the Eaton Squad, same handle, the Eaton Squad Facebook page. I-message mo ako doon para ma-send ko sa'yo or ma-forward ko sa'yo kung ano yung magiging reply ng Bureau of Immigration. Not 9.5. Slightly more than 11%. Oh, cool. That's really cool. Please help us to renew my husband's visa. Kasi we are also doing the same thing for my husband. He's applying for the temporary residence visa. Nagkaroon lang ng problema sa NBI kasi yung sa career hindi na delivered doon sa NBI main office sa Manila. But hopefully we have started on that again, and hopefully that will be sent back to us kasi doon kami sa Davao mag-ano niyan eh. We have to apply for it in Davao City. We live in Jensen. We actually have a field office here in Jensen, but they don't process that type of visa. So, kailangan namin pumunta ng Davao for that. So, but like I said, I will inquire on the Bureau of Immigration what will happen. Kung, kasi wala kasing renewal, Lorenza. Walang renewal ang temporary visitors visa. Temporary residence visa. They don't have a renewal. That is for 1 year. After 1 year kasi niyan, after 1 year of being a temporary residence visa, is mag-a-apply ka for the permanent residence visa na. So, yung permanent residence visa, yun yung i-renew mo every year. So, ganun po yun. Nandito ka ba sa Philippines? Kasi kung pwede ang asawa mag-renew, kasi andun sa form nila, if it's done by a representative, you just need an authorization letter from the main applicant. So, baka pwede yung asawa kasi nga wala siya dito sa Philippines. Pwede naman yun. Yes, 10 months siya sa US. Intay niya mabenta ang property niya to stay here. Oh, okay. Kaya pala na siya na... So, like I said, coordinate with the Bureau of Immigration din kung pwede ba na ikaw ang mag-renew ng visa niya kasi nasa US siya. And like I said, i-message ko din sila tomorrow. Hopefully mag-reply. Someone mentioned earlier they got married online. I thought the Philippines does not recognize online wedding yet. They don't. That's why they require report of marriage. You can't just use the marriage certificate given to you when you guys got married online. The Philippines will actually require you to apply for the report of marriage so that marriage is actually reported in the Philippines. So that's what they require. Mm.
They do recognize
online
marriages. You just have to go through the process.
Oh, okay.
Because if they didn't recognize them, then they wouldn't accept even...
Oh, the ROM, yeah. So, yes, Lorenza, kung saan ka ba dito sa Philippines particularly? Kasi may nagsabi nga pwede ko with... Yes, pwede talaga. Ang alam ko, kasi yung kaibigan ko dito, siya yung nag-renew ng visa ng asawa niya kasi nasa US yung asawa niya. With SPA, that is really true. Kasi asawa ka naman. You have the right to do his paperwork. Hindi kagaya yan sa US. Sa US, ganyan din. You have to have the permission of your husband. Kahit nga doon, kahit tatawag ako sa phone namin or may inquire ako about my husband, they need to have a permission from him, ganyan. Same din dito yan. So, with SPA, you should be able to renew his visa. Kasi dapat sa permanent na siya, magja-jump na siya sa permanent. Just a few days ago, a 58-year-old woman has died due to the complications of the pandemic. And as of now, total death here in Singapore is currently at 39. Oh, you guys are lucky. Because in the Philippines, we have more than that. Other countries have more than that. Balagtas, Bulacan. So, sa main talaga kayo magre-renew yan. No? Sa main office? Sa Manila talaga? Pero sabi nung iba, dapat daw personal. I-ask mo muna, i-try mo muna. Mas maganda kasi sa Bureau of Immigration ka mismo I know others will say that, yung iba sinasabi dapat personal, yung iba sinasabi pwede with SPA. Much better talaga na i-confirm mo yan sa Bureau of Immigration kung ano yung option ninyo. Kasi may rason naman bakit wala siya dito.
United States has had 615,000 deaths. India 426. Brazil 560.
Oh, I'm live for over, I don't know. I am live for over 1 hour.
Where's he from?
Who?
The one that just said the death total.
Singapore. That was Vincent who said that. So right now, yung biggest threat dito sa Philippines is yung Delta variant. Kasi madami na sa Manila, meron na din sa North Cotabato, ganyan, Southern Mindanao, Northern Mindanao.
Philippines has had 28,231 deaths.
Yep, there's a lot of deaths over here. So, meron pa po tayong questions. I'm still able to answer. Meron pa tayong time. Meron pa tayong time to answer. Maraming salamat for our 31 viewers right now. So, what is the process for online marriage to a Filipina? They actually have a service called WebWed. I think that is what everybody is using. They also use the direct Utah courthouse online wedding because it's the Utah courthouse that initiates the wedding online. Ay, wait a second. That like I said, that initiates, like, they have packages, what type of packages you want to use for online wedding. And like I said, if you want to go on the cheap route, you can call the Utah courthouse and register and apply for the certificate and schedule your wedding. They actually do that for $50. That's what everybody has said. I have one subscriber that did that, did not really use the service of the web, and they were able to get married online. So, because Utah courthouse is the one, Utah, they're the ones who's doing the online wedding thing. Maraming salamat to our 37 viewers. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening to everyone. If you guys have questions, my name is Addie. I do travel updates. If you have any questions, travel related questions, immigration related questions, as long as I know how to answer it, I will be glad to answer it. I do travel updates to the Philippines during the time of the pandemic. I also make travel updates in the US, and whatever travel related updates in the world. And when we say we're serious about those that float the law, here we had zero tolerance of it. There's people already had been sent to jail for not doing. I wish they do that here in the Philippines. In the Philippines, they get away with it. They don't really, because see, it's not just the Philippines that are. Singapore is a lot more stricter. Then you qualify for 9A visa is online wedding. There are a lot of couple who got married online and was able to secure a 9A visa or keep That's really good, Vincent. The discipline would play a huge role on that. My husband po is from Belgium. We married through WebWed last month. Ask ko lang po sana if it's okay na po ba to use for 9A visa. Sa enya po ba, saan niya need mag-apply ng visa? Thank you. So, kailangan niya po mag-apply sa Philippine Consulate sa Belgium kung meron doon or sa nearest Philippine Consulate. But first step po niyan is kailangan niyo pong i-report yung marriage niyo sa Philippines by applying for the report of marriage. Kasi report of marriage or PSA issued marriage certificate is one of the requirements for the 9A visa. You won't be able to get a PSA issued. PSA, this is formerly NSO. You can't get a copy of the PSA issued marriage certificate unless the marriage is reported in the Philippines. That is why you need to apply for the report of marriage. Thank you for your reply, Ade. Get in touch with you soon. God bless your family. You're very welcome, Lorenza. I-message mo ako doon sa Facebook ha, para ma-forward ko sa iyo yung reply ng Bureau of Immigration kapag nag-message ako sa kanila. And if you guys can hear my kids in the background, they are watching TV because they don't have school tomorrow. They only go from Mondays through Thursday for online school kasi wala kaming face-to-face. We don't have face-to-face here in the Philippines since last year. No. Yeah, since last year actually. So, if you can hear them in the background, they are watching TV. I'm so sorry for that. In my role as a security officer, I even had to remind those that didn't even wear their mask properly or failed to keep social distancing. Tough, but not many people know and understand about my work. I know. And they get mad at you from telling them you need to do this, you need to do that. I get mad sometimes at security guards at the mall too when they are telling me you can't go in without the face shield. No, you can't tell. I understand your job, really. I really do. But if you do your job, you have to do it fairly. And you're telling me I can't get in without having a face shield, and the person ahead of me just got in without the face shield with no problem. Like I said, I don't have a problem following the law or the rule of a particular mall, but you have to be fair. If you said no entry, no face shield, no entry, it has to be no face shield, no entry. Thank you for the info. Greetings from San Diego. Hello, good evening, good morning. Yes po, that's the next process po namin is yung ROM. Need po ba na to kami mag-apply both end? Thank you for answering. No. Siya lang pwede siya ang mag-apply niyan doon sa Belgium. Ire-report niya doon sa Philippine Consulate doon. Kung ano yung pinakamalapit na Philippine Consulate doon sa lugar niya, doon siya mag-a-apply ng ROM. My only heads up to those who are planning to use the online marriage, make sure that you guys have met in person. Because usually, those persons or those couple who were able to meet in person before they got married online are more likely to be approved or get processed on their visas and stuff or report of marriage. Those couples that were not able to meet online but got married online, they may have a problem during the process and stuff. So I have nothing against the marriage online. We actually, my husband and I made a video on that because that's really a good option to those LDR couples who were not able to get married, who were planning to get married, but because of the pandemic, it was on hold. That's actually an option now for online marriage, but we always recommend or we always say that you have to have meet in person yet before you do that. Wish I can swim to Philippines now even though I don't know how to swim. Go ahead, Vincent, let us know. We will go to the port and meet you up there. I'll make sure we are there. No, I know, Vincent, you've been wanting to come to the Philippines. We'll never know. The Philippine government might surprise us, especially now that the vaccine supplies are continuous and stuff. Mom, yes, mom, we use WebWed online wedding from Utah. Yes, sa Utah talaga, Utah, ano talaga yan? County. Where's Utah? Seattle? Or Utah? That's the UT state?
Yes.
Utah, okay. Not Seattle. Okay, Utah is a state. Ano ba yan? Okay po. Thank you po ng marami. Kala ko po kasi need na to kami. Hindi po. Yes po, we've been together po for 4 years and plan na sana. Yes, okay. So that's good. So, no, siya po ang magre-report ng marriage niya sa Belgium. Or baka kailangan niya yung isend sa He's from Belgium daw, but they got married with WebWed and that's register. Kasi ang alam ko, ang pagkakaalam ko kasi sa report of marriage, you have to report it to the jurisdiction of that state. Kung saan belong, ang alam ko, Utah belongs to the Philippine Consulate of San Francisco jurisdiction. What I know is kung saan kayo kinasal, doon nyo po i-report sa Philippine Consulate kung saan belong yung jurisdiction ng state na yon. Can you explain this, please? Copy of naturalized letter of invitation executed by the Filipino spouse or parent of the Filipino national. The letter should also indicate that the foreign national will be residing with his Filipino family while in the Philippines. This is a request letter from the Filipino wife or the Filipino parent of the child that they are requesting the Philippine consulate for you to be granted for a visa to be able to enter the Philippines. That's one of the requirements actually. I actually have a video on that, but I am getting ready to upload maybe tomorrow the most recent requirements for 9A visa. Continue is one thing, but the willingness of these people taking the vaccine is another. True. How can you meet in person if the country is locked down? That is the whole purpose of online wedding. I know, but That's the requirement. I have couples that I have known couples who went and got married online but did not meet in person and got denied for a visa. Actually, several of them. Yun din nga po ang nabasa ko kaya medyo confused po ako on where to. Yes, ang pagkakaalam ko kasi Marilyn, kung saan naganap yung wedding, dun ire-report. And Utah is under the jurisdiction of the Philippine Consulate of San Francisco. So, pwede niya po yung pwede niyo yung i-confirm sa San Francisco. Thanks, Adi. Love all the videos. Maraming salamat, Mark. Thank you so much. Have her draw a letter, a letter of request, or you can do it. Have it printed, but she needs to have it notarized and send it to you. Don't send a digital copy. Make sure you have the original copy because it has to be notarized. So, so you guys have any more questions? We'll have 30 minutes more. We have 30 minutes more, then we can wrap this up. By barangay. Barangay ano? That's the barangay certificate. Your wife knows that what a barangay certificate is. She needs to go to the barangay and get the barangay certificate. That's to prove that your wife is in the Philippines. That's to prove that your wife in the Philippines. They will also ask for a selfie with your wife holding a newspaper, the current events in the Philippines. That's also to prove that she's in the Philippines at the moment. I know the requirements are weird, but maraming salamat po. It's a big help po. God bless and keep safe. You're very welcome. Will be due, and also I will need to get her to post it to me. Yes, she needs to send it to you. She needs to send the original paper or the original documents because they will ask for the original. That way you already have it, original and copies of them. Maybe during the LDR chat, we can even share about our thoughts about taking the vaccine and encourage others who's watching to take the vaccine. Oh, me and my husband are all for it. We're just waiting for Manila to be a lot more looser on their restrictions or quarantine classifications because my husband is a veteran. He was in the Navy, so he's a veteran, and veterans uh, gets vaccinated at the VA clinic in Manila. So we're just waiting until this whole quarantine classifications in Manila until this lockdown is lifted. Then we are not married. We have a 5-year-old son. That is okay because your son can't write yet. So she can do that for his part. Ma'am, both po sila mag-a-apply. I mean, she need to fill up her part and notarize it, then send niya yung document sa husband niya and he will do the same. Fill up his part. I will show you guys the report of marriage. Can you get our document over there, Da? Please. I will tell you which one. So I can show them the example of report of marriage. That is actually true. What you do, Catherine, is go to go to any Philippine consulate website. Meron dong form for ROM. Give me the top one. Meron niyang form ng ROM, i-fill up mo siya, i- i-sign mo na, give me that. Then you send it to him, i-fill up niya yung part niya, then siya na lang ang what? Oh my goodness, agenda. Siya na lang magpapa-notarize ng ano. Siya na lang ang magpapa-notarize nun sa states. Ay, this is dual citizen man. This is wrong. This is my dual. I need the ROM. I hope the ROM is here. Let me see, B. Ano ba yan daon? You keep doing that man daon. Did you got cut again? Oh my God. You redo it again? Same area?
Uh-huh.
Ah.
Yeah, it's always the same spot.
So, ito po, this is an example. Ito yung ROM naming mag-asawa. So, this is report of marriage contracted abroad. So, yes, meron yan on this part. Tanggalin ko muna to. I will remove this, ha. Meron yan on this part. This is for the husbands. His information there. Then dito, your information. Then the name and address of the witness. Place of marriage, meron yan. Then the solemnizing official, where it happened. Then yung signature ng asawa mo. At yung signature mo, then you have to put picture too. Make sure may picture. I-check nyo po yung requirements ng Philippine Consulate. Check the requirements of the size of the picture sa Philippine Consulate kung saan kayo mag-a-apply. So, siya na
Probably
po.
passport size.
Yeah, siya na po ang bahala. We did not have it notarized, actually. Hindi nga namin ni-notarize yung amin. We did not notarize it, actually. So, walang notarization. What?
So I can at least wipe the blood off.
Where's the... Ask for the betadine there, please. So, yan po ang report of marriage. Ganyan po ang itsura niyan. I wish I have the other one where kasi kung magre-request ka nito sa PSA, same ano pa rin, same yung itsura. So, yan po ang report of marriage. Yes po. I have a friend in the US. He wants to come here in the Philippines, but he don't want to be quarantined in Manila. He wants to be quarantined here in Davao City. Is it possible? No, because he needs to undergo, especially if he's landing first in Manila, he needs to undergo the quarantine and arrival protocols in Manila. Then he will have to follow the quarantine protocols in Davao. When do you think Philippines gonna open for tourists? I'm still thinking December. But like I said, we were actually close to opening if this Delta variant did not come into the picture. To be honest. Hi, Addie. My fiance is an Indian national who is in UK as an international student. We've been planning to get married so he can get me in UK as a dependent. But our borders are closed. That's the thing right now. The Philippines is not opening pa. So, do you think we can get married online and then we can apply for 9A visa? Tapos officially marry here in the Philippines kasi hindi accepted ang online marriage sa UK. Pwede naman yun kasi others are now opting to that option, getting married online because, like I said, because of this pandemic, those plans on getting married are on hold at the moment, and That's the option that they are taking. Hello. Nagtanong kanina ata, ma'am, about sa ROM nila. Bale, ang pinagawa sa amin, ma'am, is fill ko sa part ko at pinanotarize ko. Then, tsaka ko sinend sa US and Andy did his part also, then sent to San Francisco. Pwede naman din yun. Kasi yung, when we applied for our ROM sa States, together naman kasi kami. So, your situation is different. And if they have said na ganito yung process nyo, follow them para wala ng ano. Alam niyo naman, the Philippines is so fond of getting requirements and all. So, pwede naman din yung ganon, Catherine. Hi, Addie. If the borders open for USA tourists, will I need a visa or could I keep extending my passport? This is actually what others have been asking if the borders are finally open. Uh, we don't really know yet if the Philippine government is just going to reinstate what they were doing before the pandemic, or they are now going to require visas for tourists who wants to visit the Philippines this time. So we don't know yet, but hopefully they will just reinstate what they were doing before.
More than likely, they're going to reinstate what they were doing before because the amount of applications that they would have for visas to approve is going to be astronomical.
My husband said they will just probably reinstate what they were doing before, because if they start requiring for visas for tourists coming to the Philippines, the amount of application that they will have to process will be outrageous. So when will the flights to Manila start, mom? Coming from where? Hope you will do that video tomorrow, Adi. I hope to get my visa this time. Will be my fifth time to try. Yes, I am. I am sorry, Chuck. I meant to do that for the past 2 days, but my daughter's laptop got damaged, or it needs a hard drive replacement, and it needs to be reformatted. And their online class started 2 days ago. So I have to let her borrow my laptop, and finally I got it back. So I am now ready to edit that video and let you guys know. If getting the visa, there will be a high risk of getting flights being canceled. I know. When do you think international flights will resume to Clark? There's still flights, international flights coming to Clark. I don't think they stopped the international flights to Clark. It's still ongoing, actually. Bye. Good night. You need to say good night.
Good night.
Say good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Have a great dream.
Bye. Shh, be quiet because my girls are going to sleep now. What? Oh my goodness. So we have 20 more minutes, guys. 20 more minutes. And we will wrap this up. Why is the US not on the green list? Because the US is a high risk country right now for COVID-19 because of the cases. Uh,
I promise her I will play.
yes. So that's why the US did not made it to the green list. Most countries that are on green list right now is low risk. So this is my eldest. Look at the hair. My eldest. Shang is already asleep. Wow, that's a miracle. My youngest is out already. Lock the door, Adimoy, please.
Good night, Mom. Good night, Dad.
Good night, baby.
Right.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Hi, married yesterday in Utah. Do you think I can get a visa without ROM? They require that though. Before, you can get away with it. But now that online marriage is becoming rampant because of the pandemic, they actually recognize it. Now they require the ROM. Do you guys want me to do a video on how to apply for ROM? Ako po ata yung tinutukoy ni Ma'am Christine, yung nag-ask po ako sa hubby ko if she need lang transfer yung ROM sa dialect na. Yes, pwede po yun. Yes, tama po yun. Kasi yun ang pagkakaalam ko, Marilyn. Kung saan kayo nagpakasal, dun nyo po i-report yun. Oh, this is quite... Hello, thanks for your videos always. Maraming salamat. Sorsogon 19, ang sarap naman yung profile mo. Yes, on ROM video. Okay, I will make a video on ROM, the step-by-step guide. Is it realistic if Philippines open the borders for foreign tourists, let's say beginning 2022, they increase the travel cap too at the same time? Of course. Because right now the travel cap is steady
They
at
have to.
right now the travel cap is steady at 2,000. That would be insane if they open up the borders already. And for sure there will be a bunch of people, even if the ticket prices are high that time, because the supply of law of supply and demand. So everybody wants to get on that first flight to the Philippines when tourist is open. So they have to increase the travel cap. It would be impossible for the Philippine borders to open if they will not lift the travel cap. Hey Butch, good morning from California. I have flights scheduled on September 1st. Do you think the USA tourists will be allowed or should I reschedule? When would you rebook? I would reschedule it, Jeffrey Miller, because right now it's not really looking good. It's not really looking, it's not really, what do you mean? I mean, the Philippines is not looking into opening the border. We will never know. We don't know. Like I said, the Philippines might surprise us on that, but it's getting closer. That's less than a month from now. and they do every 2 weeks update on the guidelines and protocols to the Philippines, I would rebook it on a later date. Because the price of a flight to Manila is extreme. Yes, that is because of the travel cap. Imagine an airline flying 300 passengers to the Philippines before, because the travel cap to the Philippines is 2,000 passengers per day, and that will be divided among airlines who are still operating to the Philippines. Thank you for the answer. Let's hope for that. Yep. Is it a separate process po ba na gagawin niya na regular nila for Belgium sa pagpasa ng Mosapa, but sa pagpasa sa San Francisco for our to be recognized sa Philippines? Kasi yung ano, ang gagamitin kasing forms niyan, Marilyn, is from San Francisco. Siguro lang yung mga birth certificate niya ganyan, kailangan niya yan i-translate into English kasi hindi nila maintindihan yun eh. So the documents that needs to be translated in English needs to be translated in English. Pero yung forms ganyan, yung marriage certificate nyo naman, for sure in English yun kasi sa Utah kayo kinasal. Good morning, Eaton. Dito Canada uwi ako by October. Hindi po ba kasama ang Canada sa Green Lane? Thank you. I don't think Canada is part of the Green Lane. Pero mag-a-update sila next week. Mag-a-update sila ulit for Green List, Green Lane countries. So, hopefully, sino yung mapasama? Do you think they are going to remove the 10 days quarantine in Manila January 2022? I don't really think they are going to remove the quarantine while we are still on pandemic. They will probably lessen the quarantine days, but I don't think that they are going to remove the quarantine, to be honest. I am from India and want to come to Manila. Right now, India is still on travel ban to the Philippines. Ano kaya ang dahilan bakit hindi kasama sa Green Lane and Canada at US? Ang US kasi matataas yung matataas yung case. I'm not sure sa Canada kung taas pa rin ba ang case nila. Kasi yung sinasali lang nila daw sa list is low risk country. But you'll be surprised China made it to the list. 'Di ba? So, a little bizarre. Yes po, thank you po. He's planning to get back home po kasi dito by December. Sa naging maayos ang lahat. Maraming salamat po for answering our questions. You're very welcome, Marilyn. Is it possible to fly to a green lane country for 14 days and enter the Philippines after? I know they have said that you have to be at least 14 days in the green lane country, but it's hard to fight the technicality on that because they can always go back to you and say you're a passport holder, US passport holder. So, you know what I mean? Thank you for your time to answer my question. God bless. You're very welcome. Thanks, Mom. You're very welcome po. China lang malakas. Oo nga. Kasi 'di ba? I know the US is actually it's understandable why it did not made it to the list. If you guys look at the chart in the US kung ilan yung cases nila doon, it's very high actually. Hi, kailan po mag-open ang Pinas for foreign tourists? Wala pa pong update niyan so far, Neneng Dino. So until now suspended pa rin silang makapasok. Considering the numbers of vaccinated Filipinos per day, do you think Philippines will open its border for at least to fully vaccinated foreigners? Thank you and God bless. There's actually a chance on that because I think that is what they are looking for. That they want before they let everybody in, they want Filipino people in the Philippines, or they want the population of the Philippines be fully vaccinated first. I think that's their ultimate goal. So that is a possibility. We will see. Because right now they are really ramping up on the vaccination over here. And the supplies are continuously coming. So we have 15 minutes more, guys. 15 more minutes before we wrap this up. 15 more minutes if you guys still have questions. We have 15 minutes more. So, do you have an update po about travel bubble in Bora? That did not have a follow up since it was actually proposed. So, I've been checking on that every day with the Department of Tourism, but there's really no follow up update to it when they propose it. Thanks for answering my question. How about Cebu? Cebu still has to follow the national order. So they cannot define what the national order will be. They still have to follow the national order. Granted, they have their own discretion in the city, but when it comes to travelers entering the Philippines, they have to follow the national order on who will be let in the Philippines during the time of the pandemic. They can't just do it on their own. So we have 12 more minutes. Oh, the Eaton squad. I want to say over 30 days. I want to stay over 30 days. Question is, there a BI office in Cebu Airport? When you apply for the 9A visa, Boots, you will be given 59 days. You will be given 59 days stay in the Philippines for the 9A visa. And when that is about to expire, at least 2 weeks or 3 weeks before it expires, if you want to stay longer in the Philippines, then you will have to apply for extension. In Cebu City, they you don't do it at the airport. They will for sure have a Bureau of Immigration office in downtown Cebu area. So you will have to extend it there. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. Dual citizen and foreign 13A visa couple. Yes, you should be allowed to enter in the Philippines, Thomas. I think everything in topic travel will depend on the success of the vaccination next month. That is true. That is very true. I completely agree with you, Sorsogon 19. Uh they actually have a an increase on their vaccination rollout. I think that was the other day, or that was August 3rd, when they recorded 695,000 vaccinated Filipinos in one day. And that is really good. So if they keep up with that, the December goal of 70% of the population of the Philippines will be vaccinated is actually achievable with the rate that they are going for right now. Will Davao be open for international travel by 2022? Like I said, Davao will still have to follow the national order. They can't just open up for tourism without uh having it or like I said, they can't just open international tourism or just in Davao alone. They have to follow what the national protocol is or the national order is. Maybe those ones that are vaccinated and get the virus don't get severe ill anymore and not die. It will be accepted if someone get only little ill, so no restrictions anymore needed. I think what they have, if they actually get positive with COVID-19 and they are fully vaccinated, yes, they shouldn't be getting the severe uh stage of it of COVID-19. But if you're traveling and tested positive, you have to heal first. Of course, you have to recover from it. And if you have recovered, you just have to have a certificate indicating that you have recovered from from COVID-19. Hello, any word on them adding US to green lane? They should have a new list next week. So I will keep you guys updated on that. We don't know because on the second list that they have updated, there are some countries that were removed from the green lane, countries that are added on the green lane. So next week, when they release a new list again, we would know which countries are going to be removed, which countries are going to be added. And I'm probably just gonna flash it on the screen because they are some countries are so hard to pronounce. Good morning po. Hello, Mike. Hey Mike, how are you? Thank you so much for your help. You and your family have a wonderful night. I am fully vaccinated and eager to come back. I was locked down from March to September and came back to the US. I should have stayed. Yup, you should have stayed over here. Because the guidelines right now in the Philippines, they changes. Sometimes it's so ridiculous because they change it almost every day. It's like it's this is the update today. When you wake up in the morning, it's a different update again. So it's hard. I've never had a visa before to enter. Yes, there is a satellite Bureau of Immigration office in Lapu-Lapu. It is very close to my hotel. That is it. Because before, foreigners from the US can just enter the Philippines just using their US passport. It's not the case anymore this time during the pandemic. They have suspended that. I'm scheduled I'm scheduled for flight LAX to Cebu, Philippine Airlines. I'm desperate to get back home to my lovely wife. Do you know if there's flights are being canceled or is it likely to go? I've got all the necessary requirements. Uh LAX to Cebu. When is this? Because I just uploaded in our channel the flights of Philippine Airlines for the month of August. The good thing about it is if you have not received any cancellation emails yet, then you're still good. Thank you all my friends. Thank you all my friends. Subscribe to your channel also in Philippines. Maraming salamat, princess. Thank you so much. 27. Oh, September? I know, August. Let me check. Cebu? We did not get any cancellations yet, correct? If you have not gotten any cancellations, then you are good to go. But you have to wait. You have to wait really. Usually 5 days before you, because there are some who would still call you. Were you able to get a 9A visa, Tom? That's really good. I'm checking. Cebu. Where is the flights? Lux to Cebu. Is that a direct flight or you land in Manila first? Because I am not seeing. But of course, sometimes they divert your flight to Cebu. Oh, you're a 13A. Lucky you. Lucky you, Tom. 13A. That's good. That's access for my husband. Oh, is it direct? Oh, okay. Yours is, yeah, the fly Lux. They have some flights rerouted to Cebu actually. So like I said, if you have not gotten any cancellations, flight cancellations, you're still good. As long as you don't get that email that your flight is, it's better to have, just like our flight before. Our flight were just moved 3 hours later. I would prefer that rather than being canceled and you're already at the airport. I'm waiting to see if China is removed from the green list. They're having more outbreaks of Delta than the United States. Hmm. They shouldn't be in the list in the first place anyway. So I don't know how they made it to the list. Oh my god, there's a lot of questions on that. How did they made it to the list? I could hug you. Yes, thanks. No, like I said, that's your cue. If you have not received a cancellation from the airline, meaning your flight is not canceled. Do you know any hotels in Philippines? I asked everyone. I'm trying to help my friend and that is married to a foreigner where they can stay together and can visit her spouse. Oh, do you know any hotels in the Philippines? I asked everyone. I'm trying to help my friend that is married to a foreigner where they can stay together or can visit her spouse. They're not flying together, princess. It's just the foreigner coming to the Philippines. Is this during quarantine? Very, very good morning, mom. Hello, good morning. He got his 9A visa just arrived. Oh, yay! Oh, so if he's flying to the Philippines alone, his wife unfortunately cannot join him in the hotel for quarantine. That defeats the purpose of the quarantine. Princess, I have uploaded a video in our channel, in our travel update videos for recommended hotels for quarantine. I have uploaded. My friend is fully vaccinated, so was her spouse. Yes, I don't know why China is in green lane. Maybe because they donated so many vaccines. I will just keep my opinion because I might get in trouble with 98% of the Delta virus cases in the US are refusing the vaccine. All new cases are people not vaccinated. I hope the Philippine government understand that. Oh, so there are still a lot of people in the states that refuses the vaccination. Sorry, English not so good. Okay lang yun, princess. That is completely okay. No, she lives in the Philippines. Oh, yeah. So when he flies over to the Philippines, he has to quarantine for 10 days. And unfortunately, the wife can't join him during the quarantine because that defeats the purpose of the quarantine. He has to be quarantined on his own. She's wanting to know if wifey could join. Do you have just donated a huge quantity of vaccine to the Philippines? I believe it. Yes, Moderna. It came from the US. Moderna vaccine just arrived in the Philippines yesterday. 3,000 doses. So that should vaccinate 1.5 people. And there's more to come in. They said, Mike, there's more. There's Pfizer to come in. I think that is what they are saying. By this August, they are expecting to receive 20 million doses this month. How many days quarantine ang Canada kapag umuwi sa Pilipinas? Hindi ko afford magbayad ng malaki sa hotel kasi tourist lang ako, no money. 10 days. 10 days po ang quarantine. Yeah, US just donated Moderna vaccine 3 million doses. Thank you so much, US. You're so awesome. I watch your channel all the time, and it's nice to see you're happily married. May God bless you and your family. Yes, I understand we have to watch our opinions on things I get. I know. Well, it's okay. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. I guess it's just the way you deliver it. And I think it's also how the person would take it. Some would take it bad, some would take it good, some would take it normal or
Opinions are like
neutral.
buttholes. Everybody's got one and people stink.
So that my husband is in the background. Thank you, you're welcome. My friend's husband said many people will not get the vaccine still. That's why they're getting breakouts again. Oh, I thought most of the population in the US has been fully vaccinated already.
Only
My
50% of the
my husband is like, no, no.
only 50% of the population of the United States has been vaccinated.
Mhm.
But her statement's not 100% correct because in Massachusetts,
Mhm.
78% of the new cases were Delta variant and were completely
Fully vaccinated.
fully vaccinated.
Aye. Jeffrey Miller, my next live would be on Sunday morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Philippine time. That would be Saturday night in the States, 10 p.m. Eastern time or 9 p.m. Central time. We actually have two live streaming on Sunday. In the morning, Philippine time, we are answering questions on travel updates. In the evening, 9 o'clock, we have LDR discussion. I'm inviting those LDR couples to join our chat. We chit chat, we share stories, we share we share tips, and it doesn't have to be LDR. If you are in a relationship together or not, you are very welcome in our LDR discussion. We actually have so much fun during our LDR. We go for 4 hours, 6 hours live, just chit chatting, sharing stories. What are you guys going to do in the Philippine border is finally open? It's fun. So we do invite you. I'm here in Accra City, West Africa. Why is it that the fully vaccinated person has to be quarantined in Manila? Balikbayan is kawawa dahil lahat galing sa bulsa mo. Also, I know, but we can't really. That's the rule, though. That's the protocol in that's the quarantine and arrival protocol in the Philippines. If you check other countries, that watch out for the nail. If you check other countries, they even have A lot more stricter. Can you get our timber, Beb? Bring it in. A lot more stricter protocols than the Philippines. I live in Florida, USA, and all cases are from people non-vaccinated. Oh, I believe they said that the epicenter of Delta right now is in Florida. Good morning, Cap. I hope all is well. Yeah, I think we call all the people that won't get vaccinated Trumpers. Unfortunately, he made a joke out of the virus. It's messing up everybody's life. Oh, that's not good. He went out and get some water for the dog Mike, so he'll be back. I'll tell him you said hi. We are going into lockdown again all over. It is very stressful here for us. Yeah, I'm in the Philippines too, princess, but I am in General Santos City. Right now we are currently on GCQ status, general community quarantine, and Manila is about to start lockdown again. I understand your sentiments, Lourdes. I understand your opinion. But as of right now, if you're going home to the Philippines, whether you like it or not, you have to follow the quarantine protocols and arrival protocols. So beforehand, you already know what the arrival and quarantine protocols to the Philippines. If you still want to come, then that's really your choice. Mike said hi.
Hello.
Oh, Didat, I did not know you're here. My girl in Pampanga is having a hard time finding the vaccine. She registered online but no response as of yet. That is what's going on over here too, Miller. Even us over here is not, we don't know when we'll get it, but hopefully when Manila will start easing their quarantine classifications, we could fly there and get our vaccine because my husband is a veteran and some good subscribers have suggested us on that, specifically Mike, that if you're a veteran, you can actually want Mike and Jay Green uh, said that if you're a veteran, especially if you have a veteran ID, you can avail the vaccination at the Veterans Affairs Clinic in Manila. So right now, Manila will be on lockdown, no domestic flights. And I'm actually afraid to fly because if you fly in today, the next morning it's gonna change again. So I don't want to be stuck in Manila. That would be expensive. USA just went 70% vaccination so far. O 70% na daw da. US is 70%. I am fully vaccinated here in Canada. Do I need 10 days quarantine in Philippines when I come back? Yes. If by the time the arrival and quarantine protocol is the same, then yes, 10 days. Unless Canada will make it to the green lanes, then 7 days. I know po. I had my vaccine in early March. I hope vaccine lasts longer than 6 months. Or we're all going for booster down the road. It's only good for 6 months. They did not say that too, no? They just keep vaccinating you, but they did not really tell for how long the effectivity or the efficacy of this vaccine. And I know they are already talking about booster shots. Good Lord, I have to go through 2 shots? Now I have to go through 3 shots? Ugh. I don't know why do I think you was in USA. Sorry, but yes, it's very strange. No, I'm in the Philippines right now, princess. We came home from the States last year. And we went through the process, swab testing, quarantine and arrival protocols in Manila. Right now, the quarantine is 10 days. Me and my husband has actually gone through 21 days. That was long. It's like it's I'm just lucky that I was with him during quarantine, because if you're all by yourself, you probably go crazy. In our hotel, we were put in a hotel like apartment type hotel. We can actually cook. My brother can actually drop off some groceries at our hotel and stuff, but for a very far distance. And actually, in our hotel, I swept the floor again. I will swept it again and swept it again and swept it again just to kill time. We cannot count how many movies we watch. We do movie marathons every day just to kill time during quarantine. US is in green lane? No, no po. Hindi pa po. US is not in the green lane. My friend's husband is veteran. My friend's husband is veteran. He was a Marine. Yeah, if you are a veteran and here in the Philippines, the Veterans Affair Clinic in Manila is actually vaccinating veterans. You just have to have the veterans ID. Maybe 3 million pesos, and some pesos they open green lane for you. You have to bribe, huh, my Jeffrey? Is that 70% fully vaccinated or first dose only? Oh, who said that? Butch? Butch answered that earlier. Yeah, that's yeah, if the 70% fully vaccinated. So if it's true that the US is fully vaccinated, 70% fully vaccinated, that's actually good. Ask ko lang po, my flight going back to US this August 9. Hindi po makakancel ang flight kahit na ECQ in Manila. Hindi po. Hindi po affected ang international flight. Kung magpapahatid po kayo sa airport, you need to show your itinerary that you have a flight that day.
As
Para,
of August the 3rd, 49.7% of the U.S.'s country's population has been fully vaccinated.
oh, okay. So, John Reyes, ganun po yung gawin nyo. Kasi, where are you coming from? Kung within Manila lang naman, ihahatid kayo sa airport, ipakita nyo po yung itinerary para hindi sitahin yung sasakyan na sinasakyan nyo. Have a great night, folks. Been a pleasure. Thank you for your help. You're very welcome, Jeffrey. I hope to see you around or on our next live streaming. So if you guys have really like questions that needs answer right away, you can message me on Facebook. Our Facebook page is the Eaton Squads, same handle. I reply there as soon as I can. Or you can message us on Instagram. My wife and I are planning to go from US to Philippines. She then plans to go to Jensen. We know we have to quarantine in Manila first. Will she have to quarantine again when she goes to Jensen? Oh wow. You're from Jensen? Actually, yes. In Jensen, you have to go through 7 days quarantine. Even though you have quarantine in Manila for 10 days. They do have different protocols per LGU, And that's what's going to happen. Aside from the negative swab test result, Bureau of Quarantine certificate that you have undergo quarantine in Manila, you still have to follow the the quarantine procedure here in the quarantine procedure in Jensen, which is 7 days. I'll be there. Thank you, Jeffrey. There is another booster stem cells. If only you wanted it. US is not in green list. Yep. Madam, kailan ba meron return flight kasi hindi po ako dual? Kailangan po ba return flight kasi hindi pa ako dual? Former Filipino, no. Kasi usually, if hindi ka dual, nagre-require talaga sila ng return ticket. Ganun kasi yung sabi, kasi may in-announce yan dyan, Kenneth. Kasi authorized person po yung lalabas. So, parang mahuhulog kayo sa Upwork. Kasi meron yan, in-announce yata yun ng ABS sa news, na kapag, kasi ang international flight is not affected sa ECQ, only domestic flights. So, ang sabi nila, para hindi masita, is ipakita nyo yung itinerary nyo na meron kayong flight that day. And make sure alis kayo ng maaga ha, yung super aga talaga. If the airport is requiring you 4 hours before 4 hours before your departure, andun ka na sa airport, agahan mo pa para in cases may harang sa daan, traffic, papasok ng Manila is hindi po kayo maharang ha. Tapos, bigyan nyo rin ng copy yung driver para pagbalik niya ng Nueva Ecija, kung sisitahin man siya, may ipapakita siya na hinatid ka niya. CDC put out of YouTube recommended not to start booster shots as of yet. Get all the countries taken care of first, then worry about boosters. That is true. They are now talking about boosters. We're not even fully vaccinated yet. Come on. It's like, get everyone vaccinated first. Then we can talk about booster shots. You're welcome. How about Narita to Cebu? Quarantine in Cebu for 10 days. Then final destination is Manila. No more quarantine in Manila, isn't it? You just have to finish the remaining 4 days at home. You don't need to quarantine in a hotel anymore and stuff. Of course, this has to be coordinated with your barangay. But yes, after you have 10 days quarantine in Cebu, just finish the 4 days at home. Well, my friend's husband have to go quarantine and go back in US, and will have to do another swab test to go back to the US. The negative swab test within 72 hours is mandatory for travelers to the US. But when it comes to quarantine, it depends state by state. But as I've heard, most travelers going back to the US does self isolation. It's really your option if you want to quarantine yourself, if you just travel abroad. So that's really up to you. But they don't do the quarantine thing like the Philippines does. Oh my God, I said earlier 30 more minutes. I am now over 2 hours again doing live. But that's all right. I want to cover all questions as much as I can. There's no swab test for quarantine in the States for arrival. Yep. They do require, if you're coming from the Philippines, Mike, CDC requires 72 hours, within 72 hours negative swab test result. Ang online marriage po ba valid for 9A visa kahit hindi pa nag-meet? This is what we keep saying. Ito po yung sinasabi namin. If you guys wants to go for the online marriage, mas mabuti talaga na nag-meet kayo in person para hindi kayo magka-problema during application. Kasi medyo sensitive sila sa ganyan. So, is there any more questions, guys? If there's none, we can wrap this up. Our next live will be on Sunday, 10 a.m. Philippine time. And we have LDR discussions at night, 9 p.m. Join us, it's really fun. And make sure that you guys have click the notification bell so every time we have updates, you guys will be notified. We upload almost every day, so
Thought we were going to switch it to 8.
oh, my husband said we have to switch it to 8. You have to stay safe. Hey James, thank you. Thank you so much, James. My husband said we have to switch the LDR discussion an hour early. We usually starts at 9 and we usually end around 2 o'clock in the morning in the Philippines. So probably by doing it an hour early, probably
Still finish up
we'll
around
still
2.
finish up around 2 o'clock. We just gain an hour more chit chat. That's what's going to happen. Thanks, Miss Addie. You're welcome. Miss Dali, maraming salamat. If you guys don't have any more questions, we can wrap this up. Like I said, if you guys have urgency when it comes to travel updates to the Philippines, because whenever I upload video, I try to reply in each comment, but sometimes there's too many of them. I can't get to them anymore. That's why I do live so I can answer questions right away. But like I said, if I am not live, you guys can message me on Facebook or on Instagram. Same handle, the Eaton Squad. I will reply as soon as I can because I get so busy also during weekdays. But I always reply, even though it's late sometimes, but I will reply to your inquiry. Like I said, if it's an urgent matter, message me on Instagram or on Facebook. Same handle, the Eaton Squad. Maraming salamat po. I hope to see you guys on our next travel update or on our next live streaming here at the Eaton Squad. We thank you guys so much for the continued support to our channel, the Eaton Squad. Stay safe everyone. God bless po. Maraming salamat. Mag-ingat po tayong lahat. Magkita-kita po tayo next time. I hope to see you guys in our next travel update or live stream. God bless everyone. Bye. Good night.